been a hell of a week. I actually, only yesterday, we had the meeting to go over all the add-on drama so I could get fully caught up. And I was not aware. I was blissfully unaware as to how brutal. These are all our videos that are coming out, so I can't show you that. How brutal Yoshi P's response was. It almost made me cry. It almost made me cry. It was so fucking sad. I can't show you this document. This is a sneaky document. I mean, I felt his disappointment. I felt it. Where was it? You know what's the worst part about this? I didn't know why you guys were memeing yesterday about the boss being zoomed out when we were doing... I didn't get it. You guys were trolling me all yesterday about the boss being zoomed out, and you kept asking, how does Mike zoom out so far? And I was like, there's even a clip that someone sent me of me being super confused as to why you guys were asking me how I zoomed out so far. And I was like, I'm not zoomed out really far. And you guys are going, yeah, you are. You zoomed out more than normal. This is like from yesterday. Literally yesterday, I didn't get it. Because when I looked at this, I was like, oh, there's a damage meter. There's a damage meter, right? Got a damage meter. And I was like, and then it never even occurred to me. It's like, oh shit, they're really, really zoomed out. And then it all made total sense. I did see the Xenosis video. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. So now I've seen it. I was like, oh, yeah, that's actually Gigahacks. Is a cooldown add-on? I was trying to spot what the add-ons were. Because that's chat. A cooldown add-on. I'm not seeing that one. Damage meter, obviously. Left of the party bar. Oh, here. Ah. Yeah. Interesting. But yeah, the zooming out thing. You know what made me sad though? Because I was doing all the research on this yesterday for the YouTube video. Is the guys like being forced to install this stuff, seemingly against their will. Mod check. Which I found really, really sad. I found it really, really sad that like the guys, because I mean, it looks to me like they this video was leaked by. I mean, this is conjecture. You know what I mean? I'm just guessing, but it feels to me like one of the team leaked this video. That they wanted to know. They wanted it out there. They weren't happy about it. Well, Force is how they're saying it went out. So let's. I mean, we're going off their words and their apology, right? Which is, let's have a look. Redirecting. Where is it? What is it exactly he said? Let me maximize this for me. Every time I click on this, it changes. I'm Fever, the support member of Team Unnamed. Various images, videos have been distributed in various platforms regarding the use of third-party tools. The images and videos are captured from actual gameplay, and it is true that third-party tools are being used for the raid. We sincerely apologize for causing the current situation. This whole justification kills me. I hope to be given the chance to explain why third-party tools are being used. Our team members, including myself, have met quite a lot of overseas players, and that led us to believing that high-level raid teams were using various tools for the race as well. You Western pieces of shit. You Western pieces of shit. Yeah, it's your fault. It's your fault, you Western... You come from your World of Warcraft, weak-aured, fucking details world into our pure Eorzean ruling, and you bring with it your cheats and your G-shade and your scams. You disgusting Western idiots. Destroying the purity of the Japanese raiding scene. Gross. To compete against the West, we decided to at least use a third-party tool for the camera that allows support members to easily take control of the mechanisms and give order to the members smoothly. The order was given from support members to a team member to use a forbidden third-party tool and share it to the support members using Discord. Refutile, the Dragoon in our team, does not use the tool originally, but installed it as a compliance to the order. So what they were doing, they have outside raid helpers, like the Race to World First has now. Yeah, they beat it 2 days faster than everybody else. So he had to comply. They pushed it. They said, you got to install it so you can stream it to Discord and see what's going on. For the leaked clip, I had been streaming Refuter's screen for recording purpose, and there was no authorized access to non-authorized access to my YouTube channel. There are rumors of a team member spreading the clip on purpose, but we cannot confirm that. We can confirm that although Refuter is the one who used the tool, all members have been using the information gathered from the tool and used it for the race. As such, all members should be guilty on the same issue. Again, we sincerely apologize for defaming the Ultimate Race, or even Final Fantasy XIV in general. Oof. 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 Probably a lot more Western teams were streaming for everyone to see. Yeah, I think, honestly, like, we were talking about it in the team yesterday. Like, our wording specifically in the YouTube video. We were talking about our wording of this. And FF14 carries a problem that WoW doesn't have. And I personally really want to see FF14 have as thriving a Race to World First community as World of Warcraft has, because it's great. Obviously, I'm biased. I'm involved in it. I fucking love it. I need to log into Dropbox on here. Can you log into Dropbox for us on there, Chris, while I'm talking? I just don't want to be Mr. Distracted and go through it. Or if you can you not remote it out, Chris, via your Splash Top? It's right there. You can see it if you log into the stream PC. I would love that. But in order to counter this, you need everybody's POV, right? Because in World of Warcraft, it's not a problem. Add-ons are allowed. It's whatever. But in FF14, it's not. And in order to make sure that nobody's doing it, you need to see everybody's POV, because you can still have one member of the raid team doing something. Now, Nups pointed out something very clever here, though. He said, Nups' take on this is that it's so obvious in FF14 if somebody is using add-ons to gain an advantage. And that is because they will just be so too far ahead. And I kind of see where he's coming from. Like, the Unnamed killed Omega 2 days before anybody had even seen the final phase. They were just so ridiculously far ahead compared to everyone else. Now, you could argue, well, it's kind of like that in WoW with Liquid and Echo, right? Like, even the closest teams are still magnitudes away of their level of progress. That's true, but that's after years and years of ultimate min-maxing and development time and massive amounts of money and contracts and getting to that professional level. It wasn't like that in the past, and FF isn't there yet. FF's just not there yet. So it clearly shows the level of advantage that having even just an external POV and stuff does. So I kind of see where he's coming from with that. It's like, if somebody is using an add-on or something to make things easier, there's a very noticeable difference in gameplay. Yeah, I saw it, USA Face. It was good. Their advantage had nothing to do with this. What do you mean? What do you mean their advantage had nothing to do with this? I'm confused. You confused. What do you mean? No, I'm 100%. I mean that this plugin would not make up for the 2 days in prog advantage. I mean, it did, though. Right? Unnamed have a world first in the past by an hour. Right? Unnamed are a great team, for sure. But, like, they're not that much further ahead. They beat the Savage Raid world first by an hour and then the other one by an hour. They're not 2 days better than everyone else. That's crazy. That's a clear. There's a clear gap there that did not exist a little while ago. That's a hell of a leap in ability. Let's put it that way, to make that happen. And we know that the other teams, as far as we know, didn't do that. Did not have that. And then Yoshi P comes out with this. But I'm going back to it, though. I really do hope. I'm not sure what the solution is. I really don't know. FF's tricky because of the add-on thing. To make sure it's ultimately fair. And it makes it really sad that Yoshi P is like, we can't really comment on the Race to World First now. Because it might not be pure. And that's really shit. Because you know he loves it, right? He clears it, he tests it, he does all that stuff. You know that the team loves watching the progress happen. And he points out in here the trial and error process of how much they enjoy seeing people finally solve the riddle and get it right and move forward. But now they're like, well... I mean, he did mention it after Neverland got banned in DSR, is that they might have to resort to not mentioning it anymore until they can be sure that it was done, you know, legitimately. I kind of wonder if F can detect third-party tools. Like, actively detect it. Have we got any evidence that they can actively detect them being used? Because I don't think they can. It was really interesting, and we had a bit of a discussion about this last night. Yeah, I don't think they can either. Is that they made the players delete the rewards, right? So they can take away their achievements and titles, but they had to make the players delete the rewards. Now, I imagine they can do it, but it's Chris said they probably can do it, but it's a giant pain in the arse for them to do it. Instead of, like, I mean, WoW could delete it on the fly. WoW can just remove your shit and roll back your character, do whatever. So it's a hell of a thing to go through. They can't do it, and they won't. They don't want to. Yeah, I don't think they want to either. Are they going to change data packets? Yeah, exactly. Like, we know WoW can pick up on stuff because they do their mass bannings pretty regularly for what's going on. But they've obviously been utilizing this for a while. I mean, FF's definitely got a lot of spaghetti code in there. Let's be honest, as do most of these long-term MMOs at this point. Yeah, this was really sad, what he said here. The following release of the Omega Protocol Ultimate. There was more stuff going on here than I knew about, though. There's one thing in here I'm not sure what he's referencing to. Maybe you guys know. Following the release of the Omega Protocol Ultimate with 631, there has unfortunately been information concerning instances of unfair play identified within the community. I would like to take this opportunity to share information on our investigation and actions on this matter. We are aware of information that is being spread regarding the use of third-party tools within Omega. We are conducting an investigation on the matter, including a reviewing of reports we have received, as well as self-confessions and other information. In the event that we confirm the use of third-party tools through investigation, we will enact penalties such as temporary account suspension or permanent account bans to those involved. However, details of any punishments enacted will not be publicised. This has been the case in other similar instances. This is not a result of any desire to hide punishments given, nor is it to make it seem as though punishments are not given. It is because of a firm belief that penalties such as these are enacted against an individual as part of our operations, and is therefore not information that should be publicised. Your understanding of this matter is greatly appreciated. When other instances of unfair play were identified during previous Ultimate raids, we enacted penalties at that time as well. If an investigation is carried out and the facts are confirmed, we have not and will not overlook this kind of wrongdoing. Regarding the prohibited use of third-party tools. As I have mentioned previously, the terms of service for FF state that the use of third-party tools is strictly prohibited. This has always been the case and will continue to be so, and unless announced otherwise, there are no plans to enact any changes. I have come across posts from individuals that say things along the lines of, Yoshi allows the use of third-party tools, so it's fine to use them. However, let me make it clear that I have never permitted the use of these tools. You may find information below from past posts and live streams which outline my stance and policies surrounding third-party tools. Regarding the illicit publicity of post-clear cutscenes. So I didn't know this happened. That somebody leaked the final Omega cutscene. We have confirmed that a video showing the cutscene that plays upon clearing the Omega Ultimate at a time before the fight has been cleared was posted on video upload sites. We conducted an investigation on this matter and discovered the cause of the issue. Through sending a cleverly disguised but illicit information packet from the user's end while on the public game server, it is possible to manipulate the playback condition flag intended for use when replaying the cutscenes via the unending journey. As a result, it was possible to play the cutscene via the unending journey, from which a video was then recorded and posted publicly. I wish to apologise that our measures to counteract these illicit packets was insufficient to prevent this occurrence. Due to the other illicit actions that occurred in the past, we had taken the steps to adjust the timing at which the cutscene resources are applied to the client. But because of the above incident, the cutscene resources became illicitly obtained even though proper countermeasures had been taken. We will continue to consider additional measures which can be taken and look to strengthen our ability to manage and address these instances. However, we have found the motherfucker that did it. We have identified the character who partook in this illicit action and have enacted a penalty against that account. That dude got fucked for one of the most boring cutscenes. Dude. Like, fucking ruined. Fucking ruined. That cutscene is whatever. It's just like, okay, the fight's done. Now we're going to go off and return to our journey. And that they found that motherfucker. So not worth. So not worth. Regarding this... Okay, so this is the one I wasn't sure about. Separate from the above incident, we have also confirmed that a small portion of footage that is not possible to record on the public game servers has also been circulating. We have numerous countermeasures in place when it comes to data leaks, including how information is handled. The entering and exiting of content and video recordings, it is suspected that this video originated from an internal source. That dude is calling in sick and just fucking disappearing, because that's no joke in Japan. That guy is screwed. That guy is fucking screwed. Yeah, he'll be blacklisted and all sorts. That is no joke. And what for? What's the point? I always feel like stuff like this is a friend showing a friend something they're working on, and it's the other friend who then continues to leak it and share it because they've got something sneaky. Do you know what I'm saying there? It's like, oh yeah, you should see the new Omega. It looks awesome. Oh, what's it like? Oh, I'll show you a little clip of it. But yeah, don't tell anybody. But here's a little clip of it, and then that person's like, dude, and then it spreads. Then it spreads. Just don't say anything. Just keep your fucking mouth shut. Keep your fucking mouth shut. It's one of the most difficult things in business, is finding people who keep their fucking mouth shut about shit that doesn't need to be shared. We are continuing thorough investigations on this matter as well, and a firm punishment will be given to anyone who is identified as the perpetrator. Yeah, it's like, is it worth your career? No. We will continue to enact countermeasures against this. I want to extend my sincere apologies for... So does anyone know what leaked? Was it just a video of one of the phases or something like that? I didn't know about this. I'm not sure what video it is. Did anybody see it? Yeah, I know it was dev footage, but it must have been part of the fight. It was phase 5. Oh. Oh, you did send it to me. Yeah. I didn't want to see it yet. Cool. Oh, this is the leak. Okay. I mean, we can watch this now, right? Dude, you got fired for this? What a dipshit. What an absolute dipshit. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of info there. Oh, man. Oh, shit, I closed the thingy. Hold on. Because it gets even sadder. We get to Yoshi P's ultimate sadness. Where are you, buddy? Oh, of course they used it. It was out. Of course they used it. No doubt. In closing, it is extremely disappointing for me personally to see this commotion surrounding third-party tools once again in the wake of what happened with Dragon Song's Reprise. As the individual who is entrusted with full supervision over Final Fantasy XIV, it is my responsibility to enact countermeasures and police the use of these tools, as well as educate people to not use these types of third-party tools. This is especially unfortunate when I, as a gamer, am cheering everyone on who is learning this content by trial and error and putting in the effort to clear. Although unofficial, I am of course apprised of the race to World First Clear, and we have shown our support for everyone in the community by sharing information on the first clears once multiple clear teams came forth, and exact clear times have been confirmed. However, as announced in a previous statement, I plan to refrain from doing so for the time being. We hear the community's voice that an official raid race should be supported, and regulations should be decided upon. This is a topic which needs to be discussed internally, so please allow me to keep this as an item for future consideration. The Ultimate Raid series is the most difficult battle content within FF14, and we released this content after testing it, that it can be cleared without the use of any third-party tools. However, if the presumption is that this content will be tackled and cleared with the use of third-party tools, then any reason to develop high-difficulty battle content seems to be lost. It is very difficult for me to understand as a gamer what the meaning behind using numerous third-party tools to compete to clear first would be. That is a brutal paragraph. That is an absolutely brutal paragraph. Yeah, well, WoW's, they don't want to end up like WoW. We said this the last time we made this statement. They don't want to end up like WoW, where they are forced to try and design these encounters with mega powerful third-party tools in use that are going to be shared and passed out through the community. And it's just... Look, man, I spent time with the people who make these fights. It's so, so hard. It's so hard to do it. Like, how do you even go about it, you know? How do you even go about knowing that WeCorers exists and there's analysts and people editing the boss mods and seeing things and reading the code of the game and just making everything down to the second? It's so fucking difficult. And it leads to massive, massive balance problems. Why do you think all these raids are nerfed in WoW so massively all the time? Because they're designing it with these in the world first for all these massive third-party tools in mind. They're just all over the place compared to the average player. The gap is so monumental. And Yoshi does not want to go down that road at all. It's a dark road. It's a tough road. It's only Blizzard designers want some add-ons banned. No, actually they were... I can't go into too much detail on it, honestly, because it was a private conversation. But I want to say that the way Blizzard thinks about this stuff, add-on usage, data mining, all the stuff that is like not allowed in FF14. You know, it still goes on. We know data mining goes on and stuff like that. Blizzard looks at it as a them problem to fix. There's better ways. There's new and interesting ways of going about it and trying to... Can we obfuscate the information better? Can we do something else? Because it's too late to go back. Can't go back, right? It's too far. It's like dragon flying. Can't go back. You've done it. It's good. It's got to stick around. And add-ons in WoW, it's not going away because we're far too deep in the neck. It's been something from day one. So they've got the problem of trying to work around it in some way, and they consider it a them problem to solve. And Yoshi P's like, I do not want that to be a problem we have to solve, and that's rightfully so. I don't want that. And Yoshi P, who's testing all this stuff, and imagine the rest of his team, is like, I don't want to have to sit here and install fucking add-ons to test the encounters. Let's clear it knowing how everyone else is going to clear it. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. It's as simple as that for Square Enix right now. That's the approach they want. It's like, we'll test it, we'll clear it in the same way the rest of the players will, and now we know it works. That's it. WoW can't even internally test their raid encounters properly. Fuck no, Square Enix doesn't want to go down that road. Right? Absolutely not. Square Enix doesn't want to go down that road. World of Warcraft cannot test its encounters the way the players are going to do it. They simply can't do that. And now we've ended up where we are now. Whose fault is that? It's nobody's fault. It's just the way it's ended up. Because you can't predict in 2004 what it's going to be like in 2023. Like, you can't do that. You can't be like, well, you shouldn't have done that. It's like, no, look. You know what I mean? It's not a fault game. It's a manageable problem. It's a problem that needs to be managed, not an issue that like needs to be assigned blame. What use is that? That's not going to do anything. That doesn't fix anything. It's a situation that needs to be managed and resolved in the best way it can be done. You've got to work in the environment you're in. That's it. 20 years away. Blame someone. Someone must take the fault. No, it's just not one of those things. It's not. But of course, Square Enix just know they can look at what's happened with WoW and be like, okay, there's a situation where the top end and even 1% behind them is a gulf, an astronomical gulf of ability and resources, and it doesn't work. We can't balance our raid encounters properly, so that we end up nerfing some of these raid fights like 6 times in order to make them doable by the rest of the player base, because the difference between this side of things and that side of things is so huge, even though we are still talking about 1% of the player base, at least in the mythic raid scene. It's a tiny amount of players, but the skill gap and ability and resource management is astronomically different. We don't have to do that. We don't use add-ons. It's not there. We can tackle it as the players are tackling it, and it's just down to them to manage it. And we want to keep it there. What is it? Then it says, I want to apologize specifically to the many of you who are continuing towards clearing this content without the use of third-party tools, consistently streaming your progress, and continuing the trial and error process. However, please know that the development and operations team takes notice of all your passion. Please be sure to take proper care of yourselves as you continue to tackle Omega. If the illicit use of third-party tools is made clear through our investigations, I, at the very least, will not recognize that team as the true world first. Whew. So sad. So sad. So sad. Yeah, that is a very disappointed Yoshi P. I mean, because he takes it personally against the effort, him, his team, the development, the quality, the QA testing that goes into this, and then they see it just be mired. Ugh, just fucking